Hey hockey card fans, welcome back for another look at some old vintage hockey cards. I went on Facebook Marketplace and got myself 3 cards from 2 different sets. One's from the 1972 O-PEE-CHEE set and the other one's from the 1974 O-PEE-CHEE set. The 72 O-PEE-CHEE set had a yellow or had an orangey back on cream cardboard, and the 74 was just a light brown on its backside. Now I got 3 cards here. I paid $55 for these 3 cards. The quality is pretty good. They're excellent. They're not mint condition. Originally they were supposed to be $20 each, but I asked the guy 3 cards for $55 just because that's all the money I had. Any more, my wife was going to kill me. And he agreed. This guy, Bob, who I met on Facebook Marketplace, great guy. I talked to him for like 40 minutes just about hockey cards and hockey. So it's pretty cool. He buys and sells. He doesn't collect. I just buy, I don't really sell. Though I do have some I could sell, I guess. A lot of doubles. But I just don't do that. So, let's take a look and see what we got for my $55. You probably guess at this point. So we're going to start off with the 1972 O-PEE-CHEE set. And we have Boston Bruins defenseman Bobby Orr. This is just his NHL action card. Now I looked online to see on eBay to see what these were going for as well. And they were pretty much going for pretty much the same price. I could have got this for like $14. The condition might not have been as great, but the shipping was going to cost me, so it wasn't worth it. And it says he's off to a slow start this year because of a major knee operation, so he missed a few games. I don't know what they're talking about. He only missed 2 games that season, so I don't know what O-PEE-CHEE's talking about. They won the Stanley Cup that year. And other than 2 games at the start of the season, he didn't miss a game. In this action card, he's playing the LA Kings. And it's a home game because he's wearing whites. So interesting that way. The next one we have is the NHL scoring leaders for 1971-72. The reason why this is expensive is because you have Phil Esposito, Bobby Orr, and Jean Rattel. Phil Esposito had 133 points. Bobby Orr, despite missing 2 games, had 117 points. Jean Rattel had 109. Vic Hadfield had 106, which was a career high for him. Rod Gilbert had 97, Frank Mahalik had 96, Bobby Hull had 93, Cornwallis had 83, Busick had 83, Bobby Clark and Jacques Lemaire both had 81. Now this was in 72. That fall they went to the Summit Series. Bobby Hull had just jumped to the WHA, so they didn't allow him to go there. And Bobby Orr went through another knee operation. It makes me wondering if this action card is talking about his the next year, the 72-73, because he did miss more games. But his knees were starting to bother him, even though Bobby Orr wasn't a phenomenal player. So in 76 games, he had like 37 goals, 80 assists for 117 points. And then in 15 playoff games, he had 5 goals, 19 assists for 24 points. Big part of the Boston Bruins. That card also goes pretty high just because you have both Orr and Esposito and Rattel, 3 Hall of Famers right there on that card. Card's in pretty good shape as well. There is a ding in this corner here, and the centering's a little off. But other than that, it's a beautiful card. All right, and the last one I got is from the 1974 O-PEE-CHEE set, so 73-74 stat year. It is Boston Bruins defenseman Bobby Orr. He was the 1973-74 NHL East All-Star. This card is also in beautiful shape. Has soft corners. That's about the only thing wrong with it. When it says East All-Star, they divided the NHL with the expansion in East and West. By this point, you had Buffalo, the New York Islanders, the Atlanta Flames, and the Vancouver Canucks. And they went geographically from the 68 expansion, or 67-68 expansion, all the way up to now. They went with an East-West format as much as possible. Though it kind of got confused. Vancouver for a while was in the East Division. So Bobby Orr was definitely there. Bobby Orr that year, he played 74 games, had 32 goals, 90 assists for 122 points. In 16 playoff games, he had 4 goals, 14 assists for 18 points. They went to the Stanley Cup final. They lost to the Philadelphia Flyers. That was the first Flyer Stanley Cup. And that was Orr's third greatest season in his short career. I think Bobby Orr is the only defenseman who's ever had 7 straight 20 or more goal seasons and 5 30-plus seasons as a defenseman. I don't think any other defenseman's done that. The only one I could think that would be close would be Paul Coffey. Yeah, Paul Coffey had 8 20-plus goal seasons. But Paul Coffey had the advantage of playing with both Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux. Well, Orr did have Esposito, but Orr's knees did him in, or he might have had a longer career. But definitely worth the money I paid, because eventually I got to buy Bobby Orr cards, and he is one of the most expensive players to get in the O-PEE-CHEE era. 67-68 was basically the start of the Bobby Orr era. Like, he started his career, his rookie year was 66, but by 68-69 he was a bona fide all-star, and then started shattering records for defensemen as far as points go. It's too bad the knee injuries limited to only 657 NHL games. So on top of everything, in 71-72 he won the Hart Memorial, the Conn Smythe, and the James Norris. And then in this card, the 73-74, he also won the Norris. But there we have it, 3 Bobby Orr cards. Not bad, not bad. The Bob on Facebook Marketplace, he had 7 cards. Actually, he had 14 Bobby Orr cards, but some of them were doubles. And there were 7 that I needed, and I picked these. They were all like scoring leaders or all-star cards or the action cards. And I only need 36 cards now, 35 now, to complete that set. Of course, I need the regular Bobby Orr. And then I'm way behind on this one. I've only have 130 cards from that set. So, anyway, any Bobby Orr fans out there, let me know what you guys think. And has anyone actually been to his Hall of Fame in Perry Sound? I have. It's a pretty cool place. Until next time, this has been Hockey Night in Belmont.